This podcast is brought to you by NEMT Platform.
Okay, picture this. It's a Tuesday morning, it's pouring rain, and you have a patient waiting in their lobby.
Right.
They have a dialysis appointment they absolutely cannot miss. We're talking life-sustaining treatment here. The doctor's ready, the machine's prepped, but there is one massive, glaring problem.
The car isn't there.
The car is simply not there. And in the old days, and honestly, still today, in a scary number of cases, nobody has a clue where that car is.
Not a clue. It's a complete black box. And we're not talking about a delayed pizza, right?
No.
This is non-emergency medical transportation,
Yeah.
NEMT. It's basically the circulatory system for healthcare, moving the most vulnerable people to the care they need. And for decades, it's been operating with a blindfold on.
So that's our mission for this deep dive. We're peeling back the layers on this hidden nervous system of healthcare. We've gone through a ton of industry analysis, technical docs on brokerage operations, and data on this huge shift from, just calling and hoping.
To actually having real-time visibility.
Exactly. We're going to look at how the industry is finally killing off the spreadsheet and why something called an API is the only thing standing between a functioning system and total logistical chaos.
So let's get into it.
I want to start with the status quo because I think a lot of people just assume, hey, it's 2025, everyone has a GPS tracker, right? But the sources paint a much, much messier picture. What does an operation look like without this tech?
The word that keeps coming up is reactive. And that's a polite way of saying chaotic.
Reactive.
Yeah. Without that real-time connection, the whole thing just runs on human friction. The broker assigns a trip to a transportation provider, and the moment that happens, the line goes dead.
It's the fire and forget method.
Precisely. The broker sends a batch of trips, maybe an email, a file download.
Sometimes a fax, I read.
A fax, can you believe it? And then silence.
Yeah.
The tech stack isn't software. It's a whiteboard, a landline phone, and the dreaded end-of-day spreadsheet.
Ugh, the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
The sources describe this cycle of pain they call the where is my ride loop.
It's a cascade of inefficiency. So, step one. The member waits, car's not there, anxiety starts to spike.
So they call the broker's call center, and the broker puts them on hold. Why? Because the broker doesn't know where the car is either.
Exactly. They have no map.
Yeah.
They have to literally pick up a different phone and call the provider's dispatch office.
Who then has to radio the driver, hey, what's your 20?
Right. And maybe the driver's in traffic or helping another patient, so they don't answer right away. Then the information has to travel all the way back up the chain.
Driver to provider, provider to broker, broker to member. By the time you get an answer,
10, 15 minutes have passed. Or worse, you find out the trip was never even started. A vehicle broke down and nobody updated the system.
And that's the key. By the time you find out there's a problem, the opportunity to fix it is long gone.
You're not managing the situation anymore. You're just documenting a disaster.
This brings us to the scaling issue. If you're a tiny company doing 10 trips a day, maybe you can manage this with a whiteboard.
Sure, human heroism can bridge the gap at low volume.
But when you're managing thousands of trips across an entire state,
it becomes mathematically impossible. You can't make 1,000 phone calls to check 1,000 statuses. The complexity just outpaces your ability to track it.
And the consequences? Would just annoy patients?
It's operational collapse. It's massive call volumes. It's billing disputes. And it's just rotten relationships. The broker doesn't trust the provider. The provider feels micromanaged. Nobody wins.
So the industry buzzword for the solution here is visibility. But I want to challenge that. Is it just knowing a trip was booked? Yep, I see it on my list.
That is a great distinction. And the sources are very clear. That's not visibility. Seeing a check mark at 5 p.m. that says completed, that's not operations, that's archaeology.
So what's true visibility then?
It requires a few specific things. 1, live status changes as they happen. Now, not later. 2, real-time GPS of the vehicle on a map.
So you see the little dot moving down the street.
You see the dot. 3, accurate system-captured timestamps for pickup and drop-off.
Not scribbled on a clipboard.
And 4th, immediate awareness of exceptions. A no-show, a cancellation, the system needs to flag it instantly so a human can intervene. It's all about aligning the broker's records with the provider's execution.
Yeah.
They have to be looking at the same map.
One shared truth. Okay, so how do we build that bridge? The sources all point to 3 letters. API.
The application programming interface.
Right, we hear that term all the time. But in this context, for that van picking someone up for dialysis, what is the API actually doing?
Think of it as a universal translator. In the old world, a human emailed a file, Another human types it in. Slow, full of errors.
Mm-hmm.
With an API, the broker's computer talks directly to the provider's dispatch software. They shake hands, exchange data. No human has to touch it.
And this isn't just theory. The sources list all the heavy hitters that require this.
Oh, yeah, the list basically defines the market. You have the massive national brokers like Modivcare and MTM. Then you've got Call the Car, Access to Care, Verida.
Plus healthcare systems directly, like Kaiser, Permanente. It really seems like the whole industry is moving this way.
It's becoming the price of admission. If you want to work with these major players, you have to be able to plug into their systems.
So walk me through it. A trip drops into the system. In the API world, what happens?
It's elegant. The API shoots that trip assignment directly into the provider's dispatch platform.
So no data entry. No typing 123 Main Street and getting it wrong.
Zero data entry. It just appears. But the real magic is the other way. When the driver taps "Arrived" on their tablet, that status pushes back to the broker automatically in real time.
So the broker, 3 states away, sees their screen flip from en route to arrived without making a single phone call.
Exactly. It moves the whole operation from asking what happened to seeing what is happening.
That just sounds like a massive relief. But building APIs costs money. Is this just about customer service, or is there a harder financial reason?
It is absolutely about the money, specifically billing and disputes.
Right. The sources say this is one of the most toxic parts of the industry. Why?
Because without data, billing is just one person's word against another's. Did the trip happen? Was it a no-show? What was the actual mileage?
And mileage is everything, right? They get paid by the mile.
It's the whole ballgame. These disputes are messy. They delay payments for months.
So the API acts as a digital witness?
Precisely. It enables automated billing. The timestamp and the GPS coordinates flow directly into the billing logic. The argument just disappears. You have digital breadcrumbs.
The data becomes the judge and jury.
It does. And it prevents what the industry calls clawbacks.
What's a clawback?
It's when a broker pays you, audits the trip months later, finds no proof of service, and literally takes the money back. It can destroy a small business. But with an API, you have an immutable audit trail.
That makes perfect sense. So we've covered the tech and the money. But you have this whole range of providers, right? Some are tech giants, some are small mom-and-pop shops. What happens when they can't support a full-blown API?
That's a really important question. You can't just cut off a huge part of your network. And this is where the sources talk about soft integration.
Soft integration. So
it's the good enough bridge. If an API is a live phone call, a soft integration is like sending a very structured letter every hour. It's about things like scheduled data imports and exports.
So it's not instant, but it's still automated.
Exactly. It's still vastly superior to manual typing. It reduces friction and ensures everyone is still looking at the same map, even if the refresh rate is just a little slower. It maintains consistency.
So looking at all of this, it feels like the goalposts for the whole industry have moved.
They absolutely have.
Yeah.
We're in the post-Uber era. If you can watch a $10 burrito travel down the street on a map.
Why shouldn't you know where the wheelchair van is for your grandmother?
Exactly. The sources are clear. Brokers are now judged on experience and reliability, not just cost. "I'll call you back in an hour" is no longer an acceptable answer. Transparency used to be a premium feature. Now it's table stakes.
It seems to change the whole dynamic from broker versus provider.
To a unified system. The provider's world is physical execution. The broker's is oversight and compliance. The tech bridges that gap. It creates that single source of truth so everyone is on the same team.
It really feels like we're watching an industry grow up from a chaotic manual adolescence into a data-driven adulthood.
That's a great way to put it. And the key takeaway from all this is that this isn't a nice-to-have feature anymore. It's survival.
Okay, let's bring this all home. We started in that black box, the patient waiting, the missing car, the frantic calls, and we've traveled to this glass house of API visibility.
We have. And the journey is about moving from being reactive to proactive. It's replacing, "I think the car's there," with "I know the car is there."
And the sources really drive home that real-time visibility isn't just a tech feature. It is the foundation of trust. In a system that deals with human health, trust is everything.
It's that simple. If the data flows, the trust grows. When a patient can see the ride, they trust the system. And when the system works, people get healthier.
Now, before we go, here's a final thought. We've been talking about medical transportation this whole time, but I can't help but wonder.
What's on your mind?
If real-time data and APIs can solve the chaos of something as messy and human as this, What other black box industries are still running on spreadsheets right now?
That is a fascinating question. I mean, logistics is everywhere. Construction, municipal services.
Yeah.
There are probably dozens of industries still running on call and hope.
The technology exists, it's just a matter of plugging it in. Thanks for listening to this deep dive into the nervous system of healthcare.
Stay curious, everyone.